Greetings everyone, Cartoon Retro Boy here, and you're probably wondering, when will I talk about anything else besides SpongeBob? Well, I shall make the request, and I'm gonna give you guys a I'll make it into multiple parts, multiple sections of the video, and I will make it possible to talk about one of my favorite franchises of all time. And it's not My Little Pony, it's not Fair Odd Parents, but we'll be talking about Loud House because since I think this show is very interesting to talk about because, there's a lot of things that happened during the show's production. And I think that it would make more sense. Also, I've been also recently been into Adventure Time, so I will be talking about Adventure Time in a different video because it makes a lot of sense. So, yeah. Well, actually, before we get into the whole review stuff, because at the 4 minute mark, I'll split this video into multiple parts because I want to get all my thoughts on these seasons out of the way. So I'll spend these 4 minutes just talking to you guys about like other shows before I talk about the main topic of this video. So, Adventure Time. I really like the show. I think the first 3 seasons are golden. I think the show kind of fell off around season 6, and it got back together in season 9 and 10. And overall, I just really like Adventure Time, and I think that the show is really good. And honestly, I would not regret watching it if you guys even tell me to watch it, because honestly, it's a really good show. It's one of my favorites now, honestly, of any show. It's up there. Also, Gumball has also been a very good influence on me, because I really love that show as well, even if it's on its 7th season so far. Because there's only 20 episodes that aired so far, so we'll have to see if they were going to ever do more, honestly. But we'll see. Um, we'll see if that happens or not. But, we have a lot of things to talk about for this video, because, this will be, I'll split this video into 4 parts, and then combine them on a different video software, and then or 5, I think, 4 or 5 segments, I believe, and then I will be doing that in the video. So once this reaches 4 minutes and 28 minutes, and then I will start talking about Loud House and do parts like that. And, it makes more sense to do that because, it makes a lot of sense. So, I also have been a big fan. I actually liked Teen Titans Go for some reason, even though I know that a lot of people hate the show, honestly. I don't mind Teen Titans Go, and I do honestly recommend watching it if you're cautious about it, considering that not many people like Teen Titans Go. Which is reasonable, but I didn't grow up with the original show, so this is what my generation has to stick with, honestly, right now. So, yeah, I know that sounds disappointing, but at least it's not Piggo Banana Cricket, whatever that show is. Honestly, that show sucks. Honestly, looking back on it, just doesn't feel good as a show, and I don't like that show anymore. So, I'll start the parts in a few seconds, and I'll start the video, so, hello. Okay, let's start off the video with talking about Loud House Season 1. A season of cartoon that started this whole franchise and the whole run. And if I'm being honest, Season 1 is decent. Honestly, I don't mind Season 1 because, honestly, it has a lot of it. I will say that the first of all, like if I will talk, I'll probably be talking about the first of all is the animation, then characters, and I'll talk about morals, and then um talk about the episode quality of the season, and then talking about the chart of the season. Honestly, so let's start off with the animation. Let's start off with the Let's talk about the animation. Honestly, of the season. Honestly, I think I compare this animation style to season one of SpongeBob and Fairy Odd Parents season one, because honestly, I feel like the animation just it does hold out, but I feel like they look a little grander and more older than I actually think they are, which is a really good thing because honestly, it's not a bad thing that your first season has like a little bit rough animation but looks still charming though, and I don't mind the animation, so this is why I kind of like this part of the video is not really that long, honestly. And I'll be in season two. I think the season two one will be more longer than this one, honestly. So let's talk about first of all is probably the characters because I think most of them are pretty tamed, even though Lola is probably at her worst in this season. Yeah, the first season kind of suffers through characters getting being unlikable, which is a trait of the show that will continue in season 4 onwards. So this is not a good sign for what to expect in the future of the show, honestly. And really, I'm being honest, and I'm trying. And if I'm being honest, this season does have some pretty bad episodes, though. But there's still good episodes in this season, though. If I'm being honest. I mean, I think that season one has 22 good episodes, and then 15 okay episodes and 15 bad episodes. And that's not bad when you think about it, honestly. That seems like a pretty amount of good episodes. But on the other hand, that's a lot of okay and bad episodes. And a lot of the okay episodes and a lot of the good episodes were close to okay, and some of the okay episodes were close to being good as well. In both ways. And the bad episodes were very close to okay as well. Not gonna lie to you guys, this season was very hard to me to really judge, and even as its first season, I have to give it the ranking of okay. Even though I like a lot of aspects of it, there's also some qualities that needed to be improved on season 2, honestly. Which we'll get to that season in the next part, honestly, in the next section of this video. But, okay, let's talk about maybe the yeah, there's some. Yeah, I will admit that the characters going through, like, I think Lincoln just gets the worst when it comes to torture this season, honestly. And there's a lot of episodes where the siblings are unlikable, and they're not very good in this season, honestly. So especially Lola and Lori, honestly, and probably Luann too. Like seriously, she literally prayed to her own family in April Fool's episode of the season, so that's not a good sign. And she does it she does this to hurt them, so this is not really good. That's not really good. But you're probably wondering what's my top 5 of season 1. But my number 5 spot would be Cover Girls. Number 4 would be A Tattletale. I really love that episode so much. Number 3 would be Bros for About to Rock. Number 2 would be House Music. And number 1 would be Project Loud House, which is the best episode of season 1 for me. So many good moments. It feels like the pilot episode of the show, honestly, instead of Left in the Dark. Left in the Dark is still a good episode, but I feel like it should have not been the pilot, honestly. I think the Project Loud House episode should have been the pilot of the series, honestly, because it could have introduced all the characters in a good way, and should have been the pilot, honestly. Because if I was in charge with the show, I think this would have been easily the first episode I would have produced, honestly, instead of doing Left in the Dark, honestly. And I think the episode quality is decent as well. because, like I said, a lot of good episodes are in this season, so that it balances out. But unfortunately, we have my bottom five, which number five is Suit or Consequences. Number four would be Make the Case. Number three would be It's a Really Loud House. Number two would easily be Sound of Silent, and number one would be The Greenhouse, which is the worst episode of the season, honestly. It's the worst episode of the season, and it's easily the one I hate the most, honestly, out of this entire season. But, yeah, besides Greenhouse, the other episodes are pretty bad in their own way, but I think The Greenhouse is one of the worst episodes of the entire show, honestly. That's saying something, guys. That's saying something a lot. That's saying something, guys, because like I said, I don't hate season one, but you know, I think season two is much better than season one, honestly. And we'll talk about season two in the next section of the video, considering this will be in 5 sections of the video, minus me editing it too. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys. Actually, not thank you guys for watching. I'll do that at the end of the movie review. So that ends season 1, and even though the season was decent, I think the second season will be much better than this. So get ready for season 2. Okay, welcome to season 2, the peak streak of Loud House, honestly. This is the season that has the most good episodes of the entire show so far, by 11 10 out of 10s in a row. This shows how much the show has improved from season 1. Season 1 was a decent season, I'm not going to deny that, but season 2 is really, really quality, honestly. And I think the things I want to talk about in this video is that section of the video is that I want to talk about mostly everything about the season. First of all, let's talk about the animation, because this animation style will continue in season 3, of course, until it's completely changed in season 4 onwards. So I think the animation improved from season 1 overall. It reminds me a lot of SpongeBob season 2, where the animation changed for the better, honestly. Season 1's animation was very charming for me, but honestly, Season 2 animation is just glorified goodness, honestly. So many good animation shots, so many good animation, so many good visual styles, honestly. And this season has probably the best select of specials I have seen in this entire show. Despite one being okay, I think it's decent, like 6 out of 10, but very close to being a good episode, though. But the other 2 specials are really good in this season, and that's saying something, guys. Honestly, I don't really mind this season, honestly, because this is literally a good season, and literally it has a lot of, and okay, actually, let's move on. Let's get to another topic of this video, actually, not video, section of this season of this retrospective. Let's talk about the characters. I think Lisa has the most spotlight out of the entire season so far. I think this one and season 6 are tied for the most Lisa appearances. She gets a lot of spotlight this season, which Luna does not for some reason, which is very strange. Lori gets a lot of spotlight too as well, which is kind of fun. Which is really fun because Lori is the oldest one out of the entire siblings. So honestly, seeing her improved is so much so much clean to hear, and it makes things so much less frustrating for her, honestly. Lynn Senior also has a bigger focus on the season, honestly, because he gets a lot of focus in a lot of these episodes, honestly, and it means that he gets more spotlight, honestly, which is very welcome, honestly. There's a lot of Clink and McCloud episodes in this season too. Lenny feels flannerized, and Luna has been left out, which kind of sucks because I actually like Luna's episodes in season 1. Honestly, both of them were in my top 5 of the season. But anyways, let's get to the characters. They mildly improved from season 1, honestly, and they feel more honestly connected and more Earth-like. And I just don't know how to describe it, but it's just so clean, so good, and so amazing. It just makes the things just look so lively and stuff. Honestly, I don't mind. I honestly don't mind. Honestly, this season has just the characters feel just more like expressive and they have more episodes to themselves and more spotlight, which most of them are pretty good. I think this season has perfected in honestly the writing too, actually, and humor. It feels like SpongeBob season 2, but it actually might be better than SpongeBob season 2, honestly. Yes, I dare say that even though I love SpongeBob season 2 to all my heart, but honestly, I think Limehouse season 2 might be in its competition, honestly, for best second season of a show, including My Little Pony season 2, of course, and Adventure Time season 2, but still. Because, I'll do a video talking about the best second seasons of any show in general. Because most of them are pretty dang strong compared to the first season, honestly. And guess what season 2 also has? Season 2 has the audacity to have 31 good episodes in total. 31. And 11 okay episodes and 7 bad episodes. That's an improvement over season 1, like, generally. Because the good episodes really took up the season a lot. And it seems like that this season sure wants to be better than season 1 overall. Season 3 has some stiff competition. Or season 1 has some stiff competition right now. I mean, if I was ranking the season from a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 10 out of 10. I also forgot to give season 1 a 6 out of 10, but, yeah, this would be 10 out of 10. One of my favorite seasons of any show, honestly. It's not because of the characters. It's because the writing and humor and jokes and just the characters feel more lively in this season and they're more focused on. It's just really good. It's really good season, honestly. A really strong note. And it feels like this is probably the only good season of the entire show, unfortunately, though. That's the only disappointing part, because most of the other seasons are okay and bad. So, there's only 2 that were bad, and most of the other ones are okay, honestly. So, yeah, that's kind of sad. That no other season will ever top season 2, in my opinion, honestly. Maybe one day, if season 11 exists and stuff, or season 12, honestly, then I hope that they improve on a lot of things, honestly. I hope that they have more improvement, honestly. I hope so. I hope they try to do something like season 2 did, honestly. But I doubt it, honestly, considering that most of the other seasons are okay and 2 were really bad. Even though also this series had the first Midward season, season 6, of course. So, I think I think that also the season has. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention my top 5 and bottom 5 of the season, because this is where it gets interesting. As for my top 5, I'm gonna say it right now because these episodes are really good, and these are my favorite episodes of the entire show. Number 5, no spoilers. Number 4, Fool's Paradise. Number 3, Friend or Not. Number 2, Job and Security. And number 1 is L for Love. Or L is for Love. Honestly, this episode is the best episode. These episodes are my favorite episodes of Loud House in general, because all 5 of these episodes are literally the best episodes that the show has offered, honestly. And I don't think any episode has ever topped these 5 episodes, because these episodes are generally some of the best material the show has ever done, honestly. And I wish there was another season that was good like the season 2, but I feel like that's not going to be. I don't think that's possible, honestly, now. Especially never, honestly, because honestly, season 2 was at its peak, at Loud House at its peak, and I don't think any other season will ever top it, honestly. Not even season 3, even though it's loved by people, honestly. So, I think that's season 2, and I'll see you for season 3. Actually, I forgot to mention this, actually. I forgot to mention about my bottom 5 of the season, because they are pretty bad. They're pretty bad episodes, anyway. And really season 2 at least. So, number 5, Making the Grade. Number 4, Change of Heart. Number 3, Not Allowed. Number 2, No Such Luck. And number 1, Bra in the Family. And that's it for season 2, because, that's all I have to say about season 2 so far. So, see you guys for season 3. Now, we're on to season 3. Because season 3 is also the second most highly regarded season by fans. And to say, and hold on, a lot of people say that this is their favorite season, and if I'm being honest, this season is a downgrade compared to season 2 overall. Not saying that I'm not gonna really say I'm not gonna spoil it, but I think the season is a little overrated, honestly. Sure, the characters get more focused in the season, and it's less mean-spirited. This season has some questionable things that I want to talk about in this section. Because if I'm looking at my chart right now, season 3 has 16 good episodes, 18 okay episodes, and 14 bad episodes. And it seems like the okay episodes really pile up this season more than the good episodes, honestly, this time. So it seems like that the okay episodes really does seem like this season is a little weaker than season 1, honestly. And but I will give it credit that honestly I'll give it some pros and cons about the season. The pros is that, first of all, is that the characters get more focused in the season. It's less mean-spirited. It has really good animation again, like season 2 does. It has like, it feels more, it has good humor. It has good writing still. At least it has decent writing still, like season 1. And overall, I still appreciate what it is for a season. But there are some cons to the season, honestly. For example, I think the show is getting more cartoony at this point, honestly. Which is not a good sign when you're at your 3rd season and it's already cartoony already. There's also, yes, it's becoming more cartoony in this season, honestly. which is not a really good sign when you're at your third season. You could have done it at your 10th season instead of your third season, because I think the show becomes like considerably becomes more cartoony after this, honestly. So that's not a good sign to come. Another con that I do have is that Lincoln feels less responsible, honestly. That's another thing that, honestly, that really does tank the season a little bit. And it also feels like plot recycling in this season, too, as well. So that's not a good sign, honestly, for the show. And it also relies on telling too many morals, honestly. I know morals are not always something that a show should need to do, but honestly, I think season 3 does more morals than anything like funny, honestly. I think morals are too much in the show, honestly. I think it relies on too much morals in this season, so that's why I'm not not so happy that the season tries to do too much morals, honestly. It's good to teach morals, but I don't think you need to do that every episode, honestly, or at least a few episodes in back to back and back, honestly. Like, you don't need to do that like every few episodes, honestly. You really don't need to do that. And I also feel like that this season also has a mixed bag of specials, because there's only one good episode. There's only one good special in this season, honestly. Really loud music, which is the only good special in the season, honestly. The other two, loudest Thanksgiving and Cooked, are okay, and Tripped is my second least favorite episode of the season, honestly. And yeah, season 3 definitely feels like a downgrade compared to season 2 overall, because this season feels like it doesn't really do as much as the other seasons, honestly. And it feels recycled, to be fair. It's like SpongeBob season 5 all over again, where it feels like a lot of the plots doesn't. I feel like sometimes the episodes should have been shorter, or should have been longer sometimes. Like, Really Loud Music is a good episode, but I feel like it should have been a longer TV movie, honestly. It should have been the first TV movie of Loud House, honestly, if I'm being honest, but oh well. Or some of them should have been shortened to 11 minutes long, or shorter than that, honestly. Like, The Loudest Thanksgiving should have been 16 minutes long, and Cooked should have been 11 minutes long instead. Or at least 15 minutes long, honestly. And you're probably wondering, though, about also the what I think about the humor this time. It's a little cartoony. It feels more too cartoony this season, honestly. It feels more wacky than honestly anything. It feels like SpongeBob season 10 all over again, where it's cartoony and very wacky, honestly. But I think what season 10, I think what's made season 10, I think it's better than season 10, because at least the wackiness doesn't distract stuff and stuff. So honestly, I think this season does whack the cartooniness better than SpongeBob season 10. Find me as you will, honestly. And honestly, I think that this season also tries to do way too much episodes, honestly, because it feels like some episodes feel recycled and stuff, and not many episodes are really that funny this time, honestly, compared to season 2, which is probably the funniest season of the show, honestly. But season 1 comes in second close, honestly, when it comes to good episodes that make me laugh, honestly. Season 3 would be in third place, honestly. But you're probably wondering, what about my bottom 5 and top 5 of the season? So let's get into that, actually. Number 5, Fool Me Twice. Number 4, Tear for Fears. Number 3, Sitting Bull. Number 2, Tripped. And number 1 is Frenzy. And yeah, these bottom 5s are not very good episodes, honestly. They are pretty dang bad episodes. But at least Frenzy is not as bad as Bull and the Brawl in the Family, honestly. As for my top 5, number 5 is Shop Girl. Number 4 is Racing Hearts. Number 3 is Head Poem Anxiety. Number 2, Roadie to Nowhere. And number 1 is Everyone Loves Lenny. How ironic is that Lenny has like 2 good episodes in a row that are really good in my top 5 of the season, honestly. That shows how much that Lenny has improved as a character, honestly. This might be her best season of the show, honestly. Her best appearance in the entire show. This might be her season that has the best episodes of her in general. So that's saying something, and that's kind of really sad, honestly. And I think the other characters get their own episodes that are mixed bag, honestly. So yeah, and even Ronnie Annet gets her own episode this season called "The Girl That Who Spies Me," or I think it's the girl. I think it's the girl who spies me. I don't know what it's called, honestly. The girl who spies me. I think that's what the episode's called. And also, she gets another episode called City. I think it was called City something. I don't know. City Stickers, I believe. I don't know. I have to look at the. I'm gonna go look at the episode list again. I'll look at the episodes, honestly. I'm gonna look at the episodes right now. Okay, so it's called The Spies Who Loved Me, honestly. That's what the episode's called. And as for the city episode, I gotta look that up, honestly. So I'm gonna go look that right now. It's called Slickers, which is a pretty cool episode, honestly. So honestly, I think that also that Ronnie has one good episode and one okay episode. So yeah, that's saying something, guys. Okay. So what do I think of season 3 as a whole? It's overrated, but I do think it's still decent, honestly. It's kind of comparable to SpongeBob season 5 to me, honestly. Both seasons are experimental and try to do too much, honestly. And sometimes they result in episodes being rushed out or something like that. So, honestly, I think season 3 is okay. Like 6 out of 10, a little bit lower than season 1, but still a 6 out of 10 to me, honestly. So, that actually ends off season 3 for right now. And then I'll talk about the Ultimate Treehouse video game and talking about the Lighthouse movie, of course, because we have that to talk about. So thank you for that, and I'll talk about the video game now. Alrighty. Before I get to the movie, I have one more topic I want to talk about, and well, actually, one more before the movie starts. So let's talk about the Lighthouse video game, the Lighthouse Ultimate Treehouse. Which this will be a short section, so don't expect too much, honestly. Besides anything else, honestly. So don't expect too much, honestly, from this section because there's not much to really say on. So the Ultimate Treehouse is a game developed by a mobile game that is developed by Pill Howl, I think it's called, and published by Viacom. This game was released on iOS and Android on worldwide on September 20th, 2018. And the game shut down their servers on May 15th, 2020. This game is all about is a you need to help Lincoln build the ultimate towering treehouse. Build your very own kind expanding retreat. Build to it tells you to build cool rooms in the treehouse for Lincoln and his sisters and his friend Clyde. Add fun items to the treehouse, customize the look of each floor, access each floor with awesome items like bean bags, guitars, comic books, and video games. Send your treehouse people on fun challenges and epic quests. Level up and earn currency to buy new rooms and cool accessories, decorations. Expand your treehouse and unlock new levels and build to new heights. So basically, there's a lot of tasks you need to do anyway. So it's kind of like a lot, honestly. There's a lot of things you can do in this game, honestly, which I don't have gameplay of, but honestly, there is a lot of things that you need to know about. Here's the first gameplay. Here's what it looks like. Hold on, I'm gonna try to focus. Here's what it looks like. It's basically a task thing anyway. I think Sponge moves in a nutshell, honestly. And I don't have much to say on because honestly, this game is just a building game. It's not really that exciting, honestly, for its first outing on Loud House video games. And I'll talk about the other video game in the next video, Out of Control, which is on Apple Arcade. And I'll show some footage of that game in the next video, honestly. So, honestly, I will admit that even though I had nothing else to say about this game, I do want to give it at least a good 8 out of 10, because or 7 out of 10, because it's not the best Loud House video game, but it's still better than Sponge Moves In my opinion, honestly. Because I think that game got worse when replaying it, honestly. I know you can't play anymore, but I used to play and I thought that game was kind of boring, honestly. And it feels very scummy, honestly. So, I think that's it for this game honestly, because really it's not really that much special, honestly. It's just a mobile game, not a console game like honestly SpongeBob does, honestly. And I doubt we'll ever get a video game based on Loud House, honestly, when it comes to console, because honestly they just seem more focused on mobile games, but that's it, honestly. And they had potential to release any type of video game based on Loud House, but I guess they're just not doing it anyway, so I guess that sucks. Oh well. I guess that ends this section of the video, because really, I think all I can say is that Ultimate Loud House is a fun, but also kind of a little bit stale, but also still pretty good experience, honestly. I recommend playing it, but I think the game shut down, so I don't know if you can play anymore. Uh, I'll see you when I do the movie review, which will lead up to the very moment of the video. The reason why I'm not reviewing it with Season 4 is because I don't want to review Season 4 so right now. I would do that in the next video when I talk about the show's dark era. So, see you for that. Alright, here it comes. The ultimate thing that was leading up to this very, very segment of the video. I'll be talking about the Loud House movie. Because this is a very interesting movie to talk about, even though I don't like it as much. I don't really like it too much, honestly, if I'm being honest. So, I'll talk about the plot and talk about the pros and cons of this movie. Because this movie is kind of structured like a music. It's structured very weirdly, honestly. And honestly, I would rather watch No Time to Spy, but I'll talk about it in the next video. So this movie is about it's about with his parents and 10 sisters in tow. Lincoln Loud heads to Scotttown and learns that royalty runs in the family in this global musical journey. That's the basic plot of this movie, honestly. Anyway, so this movie does have some things I want to talk about. Like, for example, this movie is basically is 2D animated, not 3D or something like that, like Sponge on a Run did. Because this will be the last. This is the last 2D animation movie that we'll ever get from Nickelodeon so far. Because I think from onwards, it's not really. Actually, the next Loud House movie was 2D too. So I wonder why they're not doing 2D animation for SpongeBob. Honestly, that's very weird. But honestly, I guess I get it because SpongeBob has run longer. So honestly, keeping up with 2D is not going to be always possible. But oh well, I guess. But anyway, let's see. What can I else say about this movie, honestly? Honestly, I will admit this movie kind of is not very good. There is some pros and cons with this movie, honestly. First of all is that the movie does look pretty gorgeous for 2D, honestly. I think that the characters are handled pretty decently here. The songs are pretty good, honestly, in this movie. Um, I do think the villain is pretty cool, honestly. Um, yeah, it's actually kind of it, honestly, when it comes to pros, because I have a lot of cons with this movie. One is I think some of the animation looks kind of a little cheap. Not cheap. It looks kind of uncanny to me, I guess. It's very structurally animated to Sponge SquarePants movie for some reason, which is kind of strange. Because it has a similar thing where it feels like it's different from the show in general, so I'm not really used to this animation yet. Not really. At least the next Lighthouse movie, No Time for Spy to Spy, is better than this movie, honestly. Also, I think the villain is pretty weak when it comes to. I think that the villain is pretty weak in this movie. I do think the story does feel a little drags on for a little bit, and I think the pacing could have been a little bit better. But there's also a lot of things that feels out of place for the show. Like, for example, fantasy elements. Like, I feel like the show should have not done fantasy elements in the show. Honestly, it breaks what the show was going for. Honestly, like that's kind of something I wish that they should have not done with this movie. Honestly, even the creator of the show actually didn't want to have fantasy elements in there because that would break the show's identity. But I guess the other creator makers of this movie thought, let's just add some fantasy elements like a dragon and stuff. Even though that was not intentionally, even though that was not intentional to this movie though. This will be another short section because I don't really have much to say on this movie, honestly. I think this movie is overall weak, and I do think this is probably my least favorite. This is one of my least favorite Nickelodeon movies. But at least it's better than Saving Bikini Bottom, at least. So that's saying something, guys. And Sponge on a Run, actually, too. This might be better than Sponge on a Run, because both of them came out in 2021, actually. So that's saying something, guys. Also, I think some of the characters are handled pretty wrong here for some reason. They just feel flannerized again, I guess. I guess that's what I'm describing it as. This is just how I feel, because I don't really have much to say on this movie. As already people has already said on it, because really it just feels like a typical family movie. Honestly, it just feels very generic. Honestly, if I'm gonna watch a better movie that's honestly better for for a show that has been hated it's been divisive, I would just go watch Teen Titans Goes to the Movie. Honestly, which is a better movie than this. Honestly, in my opinion. And also, I would honestly watch Ed and Eddie Big Picture Show because that movie was also really good, even though that was kind of a TV movie for some reason. Also, I feel like some of the other main characters that didn't appear in this movie too much, like Ronnie and Clyde, and I feel like some of Lincoln's friends should have appeared in this movie. Honestly, if I was able to rewrite the Loud House movie, I would have made it similar to the first SpongeBob movie, where Lincoln and his friends have to go on a big journey to somewhere, so they can help, so they can get something back to Royal Woods and stuff. Because that would make more sense, honestly. If this was similar to the first SpongeBob movie, I think that would have made this movie way more better, honestly. Because then it would be a decent film. just like the first SpongeBob movie. But of course, Nickelodeon wants to make this one different from the first SpongeBob movie, so that's unfortunate. There's also I feel like adding fantasy elements is also just out of the show's category. Honestly, if you add that in SpongeBob, I think it would make more sense. Honestly, or Fairy Oddparents actually. Fairy Oddparents has fantasy elements in there. Honestly, SpongeBob does too. Actually, so why don't you add it in there instead of Loud House? Honestly. But oh well, I guess that's what you expect from a show that's run on for 10 seasons now. But still. Anyway. Also, the songs are kind of... I think some of the songs are not very good, honestly. And I do think that the story doesn't feel as great as I think it is. Honestly, it's pretty lame. And, yeah, I think the villain is kind of weak in this movie. So, yeah, not a big fan of Loud House the movie, honestly. Kind of disappointed by this one. So, yeah, it gets a 4 out of 10, and it's not really that high on my list, honestly. Probably the weakest thing out of this golden era, because the golden era of Loud House is basically the best era of the show. Because after this video, I had to talk about the dark era, which is going to be more dreadful to watch, be more dreadful to talk about. So, this is going to be something that, oh boy, it's going to be something that I don't like, I'm not going to like so much. But, oh well. Overall, my score of the Loud House movie is getting a 4 out of 10. Not the worst thing in the franchise, but definitely not the best thing in this franchise. It's just very mediocre and and kind of disappointing, honestly. A very disappointing film. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and I'll see you for my retrospective on part 2, and they'll be talking about the dark era of Loud House, and also talking about the Out of Control video game. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Cartoon Retro Boys out. Actually, this actually might be the almost close of the video, actually. Because if I had to rank this season so far, my order would be if I had to rank the franchise so far, my order would be from number 4 would be easily Loud House the movie, season 3, season 2, and finally season 1. Not season 1, season 1, and finally season 2. I hope that this progress in video really showed a lot, because honestly, this kind of shows that the show it shows how much the show has improved from the first season, because the first season 2 and 3 definitely tries to have a lot of good episodes still in there, honestly. Even though I think season 2 is the much better season 3 still has really good episodes still, and it's definitely and it has like 5 episodes in my top 15 of the entire show. As a matter of fact, my top 15 episodes of Loud House are from the first 3 seasons. So that's saying something, guys. Because honestly, if I'm being honest, that I think that this golden era definitely had some flaws, but I definitely think it still is a really good era, despite also the movie kind of sucking, honestly, and being the end of the show's identity. But the reason why I'm talking about the movie before season 4 is because I don't want to talk about season 4 right now, because it doesn't feel like it belongs in the golden era. It feels like it belongs in the dark era of the show. Which we'll get into the dark era of the show really soon anyway, because, makes a lot of sense. But I'm kind of glad that I talked about the movie before season 4, because I feel like it's the calm before the storm, honestly, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, that's why. And we'll have only 3 seasons to talk about, and 1 video game to talk about next time, so we don't have to talk about anything else before that. So, thank you guys for watching. And sorry for actually saying thank you guys for watching at the end of the last segment, but honestly, I didn't mean to do that. So, this is for real this time. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and I'll see you for the part 2 of the retrospective. Cartoon Retro Boys out.